Hello. Hello. Hi. I am Tika Belly, Miss Chef. Obex John 21. Hello. Hey guys. Hi Design Sense. Hello. How's everybody doing today? Today is a Monday. Happy Monday. How are we enjoying this Monday? This lockdown Monday. How are we enjoying it? So we will start. So my name is Folakemi Oloye. I am the CEO and Creative Director of Teal Nigeria Limited. And we are an interior design company based in Lagos, Nigeria. We do residential, commercial projects. And today, we started this series called The Designer's Perspective. The idea behind it was for us to discuss as industry colleagues and even for clients to see how could we manage the situation post-pandemic in such a way that it doesn't affect our clients and the impact on our businesses are mitigated. So we have invited interior designers and architects to share their opinions, and it's been an amazing one for the last couple of days. We're going to be doing this, and I just invite you to pay attention and listen and learn as much as you can, because I've learned a lot. I've really learned a lot in these sessions. Today, our guest is Jamodu. She is the creative director and CEO of Design Sense Interiors. I will be patching her on now, and let's hear from Fumi. Just give me a minute. Okay. So meanwhile, hi Banks in Vogue, Ushene, EB. Hi Fumi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great stuff. Great. Hi everyone. Oh, I am Tika Belly says she aspires to be an interior designer. You are on the right channel. Now you can listen to everything, avoid the mistakes a lot of us have made, and then you will be on, you'll be starting off on a better standing, I guess. Monday that looks like Sunday, I totally agree with you. So we have Fumi here. Fumi, could you please do an introduction?
Hello, everyone. Hi. I feel like I'm on YouTube doing those. Hi, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
It's very similar. So I understand how you feel.
Okay, my name is Funmilayo Jamodu, and I am an interior designer. I run a furniture boutique called Design Sense Interiors. We're located at Block 126/11. Oloye Street, which is near Teal Road. It's actually close to the second roundabout in Lekki. By way of introduction, I have a formal training in interior design from the Inchbald School of Interior Design in the UK. Prior to that, I studied estate management in Obafemi University. And then after I studied estate management, okay, this is where the story starts. Let me just, so it's not just an introduction, but where everything starts.
Please, bring it on.
Okay, so you know how like every time, well, if you schooled in Nigeria, you would have gone through, well, when I schooled in Nigeria, there was a lot of, what do you call that thing? ASU strikes and all of that. So you would have holidays, you know, you had nothing to do. There was no curriculum to work with, nothing to study. You'll be in school 1 minute and then the next minute you're at home. So it's
Yeah.
always like, okay, for me, I've always done something during those
During
periods.
those
So if it's not
holidays.
exactly, it's always computer programming or trying to learn French, which I never quite mastered. But, you know, cooking classes, just ensuring that I fill up my time as best as I can. And then immediately after uni, there was another law to do NYSC. So I said to myself, okay, you know what, I'm bored. Even if I go to the UK, I don't want to stay in the UK for like forever. Let me go to the UK and do something, you know, substantial with my time. So I enrolled in an interior design school. You know,
Ah.
yeah. So that was where that started. And also, a lady that I was very close to while I was in uni, she was maybe 2 or 3 years my senior, and then she had gone to the US and she had gone to study interior design as well. So when she came home for the holidays, she told us about interior design. I knew about interior design, you know, like what do you call it? Just the understanding of
The
it, but not
surface.
quite, yeah, the stuff is, but not quite having an in-depth knowledge of what it was. So when she spoke about interior design, I was like, okay, fine. It sounds interesting. And my mom is always like, oh, you like arranging stuff in the house. And believe it or not, I used to give my friends globe balls as presents for their birthdays. Snow. Yeah. So I used to give them, yeah, I used to do that. And I just liked, you know, the whole keeping your house really nice and tidy and beautiful. I really, really liked that. So I went to study interior design in the UK for about 3 months. And then I came back, I did my NYSC. After NYSC, typical Nigerian, I have typical traditional Nigerian parents. They were like, okay, what do you want to do? My dad was very, look, I have money now, go and do your master's. So I wasn't sure that I wanted to do interior design as a long-term course in the university. So I didn't opt for that. So what I did was I'd spoken to a lot of people and finance was catching on. Everybody was into finance, investment finance this, investment finance that. So I was like, okay, I studied estate management. I don't want to do an MBA because I don't have enough experience to actually do an MBA. So let me do something that is a bit higher than my degree. So project management was an option, but there was this new course,
Wow.
corporate real estate finance and strategy. So that is can you hear me? I feel like there's a delay.
I can hear you. Funny enough, I can hear you clearly. I don't see any delay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, and then my very good friend from uni, she had gone to study that, and I was just like, you know what, easy peasy. After writing so many application letters, what's that letter you write again? I can't even remember what it's called. You write, I applied to so
cover
many
letters.
things. Thank you, that one. So and then for the US, you would have to do TOEFL and then do a SATs. I was like, well, I bet that's a long thing. I'm not interested in that. So my friend had actually studied corporate real estate finance and strategy. So I said, fine. You know, it's kind of like, it's a higher level of facilities management. Basically, how do you ensure that you get the optimum value from your real estate assets? That was what that was about. And a bit of investment as well. So securitization, investment analysis. So yeah, back in my other life, I used to be some sort of investment analyst. And yeah, after that, I applied abroad to get jobs back in Nigeria because I've always been very, I just have a love for Nigeria. I can't explain it. It's just in me. I love Nigeria because in my 4th year of uni, my parents relocated to the US. And everybody was like, oh, why don't you relocate? I'm like, look, I'm already in my penultimate year. I'll now go and start all over again. You know, all my siblings, they studied in the US, but I was like, you know what, I'll just stay. ASU or no ASU, exactly. I'll stay back in Nigeria and all of that. So that was was quite an experience. If I look back at that decision,
Yeah, like, was it the right one?
I probably wouldn't. I mean, life is an adventure, to be honest. So
Yes, absolutely.
whatever life presents to you as an opportunity, I think you should take it. You know, take it. Just take it. Just take it. Yeah. So yeah, I worked. So I looked for jobs while I was in the UK to come back to Nigeria. Worked for a consulting firm for some time. Then worked for a property company for like a year. And then after that, I worked with Owando. Actually, I worked with Ocean and All Holdings first. So while I was in Ocean and All Holdings, which is the holding company for Owando, we did a lot of corporate restructuring for Owando. So after working 2 years in Ocean and All Holdings, I was seconded to Owando to do project management, facilities management for them. So while I was in Owando, I've done like, okay, so they have different departments, right? So they had marketing. Marketing was growing at a very rapid rate, and they were outgrowing their space. So there was an expansion. So we had to do a full office fit out. And then we were in a rented building, and a part of the building caught fire, and then also we needed to renovate that as well. So I was involved in that renovation, in a couple of renovations, small, big. Then also Owando marketing was moving to Apapa. So I was the lead project manager for that team. So my job was so what they did was they did an architectural competition. So we outsourced the architectural design to outsiders, and then we managed the project. We managed the all the other aspects of the construction in-house by the in-house. I was the project lead for building the Owando terminal in Abuja, in Apapa. However, what I just did then was just project management, just getting all the teams together, ensuring that all the stakeholders were carried along. So I have a background in project management. And also, on a personal note, I've done a lot of, like, not a lot, a few personal house renovations by, family and friends and all of that. And yes, I've jumped. Sorry, I have that.
You did jump, but the funny thing about, about your history is as if there was a superior hand steering your journey, but you weren't even aware because, you had a break, you went to study interior design just to fill out that time. And then you had gone to do management courses as well. And then you now had opportunity to project management. You now project manage. And then you now had the opportunity of renovating, for a big organization in such a way that you were learning, but the cost of the learning was not, how would I put it, was not expensive. You see what I mean? Yeah. So it's really, 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 I really like it. As in, well done. And what this does for you is it shows the entrepreneurial side. So it's not just the art side, which is creativity, but it's also the business side of it as well, So, well done. I really like the story. I think it's amazing. Okay.
Then also, so before I went to Owando, I'd had all this interior design experience, knowledge-wise, and industry experience as well. So I actually started Design Sense as a side hustle while I was in Ocean and All Holdings. So my colleagues were my clients, my friends were my clients. Anybody and anyone I came across and told about, basically they were my clients. And surprisingly, it was actually easier for me. To be honest, I don't know why I feel it's getting harder for me to pursue. I don't know if it is because there was a level of skill back then. I don't know, but it was kind of easier to manage, or maybe because it wasn't as grand as I do it now. Not grand, maybe it's not as large scale as I do it now, but it was easy. Got a driver. The driver would go to the workshops, you know, pursue the carpenters. I had so in my journey, like, because I personally I do like interior design. So of course my parents' house was my first, you know, building board. So I used to, like, every Christmas we would change the house. I'll tell my parents, oh, let's change the curtains, let's do this. So I knew the likes of domestications. I would get furniture from Design Options back in the days. Interior Options, I loved what they had, but the Ikeja was really far. But I would go to their store maybe on a Saturday or something and just look around. So, and they were the ones that started this whole made in Nigeria, you know, movement. We were doing it very, very well. So yeah, interior design sense was actually a side hustle. Like I said, I was doing this for friends and family. And then, like I said, my last project in Orlando was actually the building of the head office in Apapa, which luckily for me, or unfortunately for them, that was when I met my husband. And my husband was going to leave Nigeria. So he was leaving. He was in the UK. He came home. And then we got introduced by a mutual friend. And we knew that we liked each other and we're going to get married. So, and at that time, his company had relocated him from the UK to Indonesia. Indonesia is in Southeast Asia, by the way. So they relocated him to Indonesia. And when he told me that he lives in Indonesia, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I like that. So yeah, I became an expat. So I became an expat wife, relocated to Indonesia. Basically, I got married by Sunday. I got married on a Saturday. On Sunday, we're off to our honeymoon, and then I relocated to Indonesia completely, not knowing how my life was going to, I don't know, evolve. I didn't have any career plans. I had none of, because he is British. My husband is British, so he has the flexibility to work wherever he can. But as a Nigerian, it's very difficult. You don't have such the Nigerian
the green passport.
Exactly. Getting a work permit is very difficult if you're an outsider. So I was just an expat wife. I couldn't even really do a lot of things that a lot of expat wives do either. Because of the location. My husband works for a manufacturing company. So why am I even saying that? I'm going off tangent again.
No, okay. So I guess maybe what we could do is talk about, but it's so good to hear the background. The background fleshes out where we're going. What did you say?
Yeah. The reason I'm saying all of this is because, so I started out as an expat wife, and my husband had been in Indonesia for about, I think, a year before I joined him. So he knew that he was going to be coming back in about 3 years. He was going to live there for 3 years, and then he'll have to move back to Nigeria in about 3 years. So I think the last year was when, you know, I don't know, was it panic that came over me or whatever? And I was like, okay, Fumi, what are you going to do when you go back to Nigeria? So Indonesia, I don't know if you're conversant with Christopher Guy. Yeah. Christopher Guy Furniture.
Absolutely.
So they have their factory in Indonesia. So I started researching.
I had no idea.
So I started researching stuff about Indonesia. In Indonesia too, they have very strict importation policies as well. All these third world emerging countries, everybody is trying to boost their economy. Everybody is trying to, you know, boost their economy pretty much. So I started researching, and then they have this huge furniture, I don't even know what to call it, hub in a place called Jepara. The capital of Indonesia is Jakarta.
Yeah.
And Jepara is, let's say, like an Ibadan or an Ogun State. So this is where you have a lot of furniture companies. A lot of furniture companies that cater, because Indonesia is the people are very skilled. They have very good craftsmen. Indonesia produces garments for the likes of Zara, for Mango, you know, so they're very skilled and they just have the manpower and the capacity, and they have electricity, unlike Nigeria. So a lot of companies,
please remind us.
it's very important. It's very important. So they're very, very good. So I went to like the furniture hub over there, and these people cater to the habitats of this world, the West Elms of this world. They produce furniture for these people and for independents as well. And I said to and when I went there, it wasn't like it was a big production facility like you would see in China and all of that, and all the videos we see on the internet. It wasn't anything big. It was just people that were very skilled. You know, they've been handed down this craft from their fathers. They pay attention to detail. You know, so but the thing is, their core was classical furniture, and the Russians they love that sort of furniture. So
classical.
So they export a lot.
And the Russians have the money too.
Exactly. But you know, the thing about woodwork is, but people abroad, they're not looking for perfection. They like the authenticity of wood. They love the fact that, look, I can see the grain. I'm using good wood. Indonesia, like Nigeria too, they have very good wood. So we're both in the tropical, you know, we have the same weather and all of that. So, you know, they have this mango wood, which is exotic wood, like our own Morocco and mahogany and stuff like that. So it's not about perfection, although some people strive for perfection. But, you know, seeing the wood grain, seeing the wood in its raw state, that is what people like. And when I went there, you know, it's really just paying attention to detail. People grinding and sanding for hours, and adhering to all the wood production techniques. And I thought, okay, I'm sure people can do this in Lagos. I'm very sure people can do this in Lagos. So when we're moving back, we brought in some of our old furniture. We came back with them, brought in some Indonesian furniture as well. And of course, while I was there, I was like, okay, when I come home, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open a furniture store. I knew about design options, like I said before, and I knew about interior options. Mrs. Shonibare, IO
Furniture.
I knew about them, so I started calling, you know, because I was calling like a client. Okay, so do you have a coffee table? How much is the coffee table? Just to have an idea of how much they sold.
Prices.
Exactly. So I came back to Nigeria. Settling down was a bit difficult, but I knew that I was going to open a furniture retail store because I've not worked in 2 years, and it's very unlike me. I like to work. I don't just like sitting idle, even though I enjoyed my time as a housewife, you know, but I do like to work. So when I came back home, I knew this was what I wanted to do. So we found a property, and we were able to renovate that property. And then some of the things that I brought back, I put them on display, and then we started contacting our old carpenters that used to work for us to make things for us, and then we'll display them in the store. So that's really my journey really into interior design and opening my own interior design store, furniture boutique. Of course, there's been refinements along the way. Even if I knew what I wanted to do, I wasn't sure of every fine detail that I needed to follow. So yeah, so that's my. Oh, by the way, when I moved back to Lagos, I called what's his name, Mr. Tabansi. His house is Bengali. Because I was his customer as well. I was dilly-dally about his furniture. Like I love his furniture. I made my parents buy his console table back then. It was just really beautiful. It was made in Nigeria. It's not something it was made in Nigeria, but he imported a lot of his raw material. So I called him up and I told him, oh, you might not remember me, but my name is Fumi. You know, then I told him that I was looking for a job. And then he invited me for an interview. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, I know you. I remember you. I said, yes. You know, and then he gave me the opportunity, and then I worked about a month, came for about a month. So it was good to work. It was good for me to work in a furniture organization in Nigeria, because I knew that is definitely the line that I was going to toe, you know, forever and ever and ever. Yeah.
That's
So that's it.
amazing. That's amazing.
Thank
I
you very much.
really like your journey, your story is, you know, it's so inspiring. It really is.
Thank you.
Okay, so um, now that we have all of that background, so you opened a retail store to sell
Yeah.
furniture, a
Yeah.
furniture boutique store.
Mhm.
Now, or more like a furniture boutique. My question is, so what's happening now that the lockdown is, you know, with the lockdown?
Okay, so we are primarily a retail organization, so you get a lot of people calling us. Well, before COVID, thanks to COVID. Oh, okay, so about 2 years now, retail has been on a downward slide. Like retail has been, there's so many people on Instagram, so many people on the internet doing furniture. So it's easy to call someone up and say that you want to get this done. So retail has been on the decline for a while now, and we understood what the market was signaling, and we knew that we needed to change the way we work. So I also since last year I've been changing the way we work. So I reduced our store space. At first I was going to move online completely, but we had a lot of clients. Our success, well, I always say it's premature to say that we've been successful, but we kind of have been successful, because I've not really, like I always tell people, I haven't really marketed. I've not really a lot of companies, a lot of marketing companies that approach us, or come and place an advertorial here, come and do this. But I'm like, look, I don't think I have the capacity to keep up with the demand if I actually, follow through with marketing, So we haven't really marketed. We've solely relied on referrals, physical presence, Instagram, and then Google My Business. So, and then our website as well. So those are the 5 areas that we focused on, and we get a lot of inquiries. So, like I said, since last year, about a year and a half now, retail has been on the decline, changes in dynamics, just the whole, everything is just changing, everything is changing. So the first thing we did was reduce our square footage, our square meterage, there's such a word. We reduced our square
No,
footage.
there's square footage and there's square meterage. It's just whichever one you like.
Okay. So we were upstairs and downstairs. So we relocated downstairs because I thought it was going to be difficult taking furniture upstairs. It's just easier to just keep it downstairs. Also because the scratches, the dents, all of that. I just thought, okay. But I think that was a mistake I made, because people would call us and say, oh, have you guys closed? And we're like, no.
Because I also remember that when I drive by now, upstairs has a vantage point, like in terms of, like when you're driving, your eye level is upstairs. So when I drive by now, I see that I think maybe you subletted it or something. So I don't see that anymore. So it's just it's on this level now, and that's not where you're looking when you're driving. So it's a good thing that you're also, looking at that as well.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. So we did make that mistake, and we're trying to rectify it. So this year, we're going back upstairs, but not as big as we used to be. Also, like I said, retail has been on a steady decline. Even though our customers primarily, they want to see, they want to touch, they want to feel the furniture. But I feel we don't need that much space to showcase what we have. What was the question again? Am I still on track?
You are on track. I think you're going somewhere because the question now is, now that the lockdown is happening, what's happening to your business?
Okay, yes. So like I said, we had changed our model. We wanted to be more online, have an online presence. I've been testing it, and I'm not sure if that's the direction I want to go still. Like I said, retail has been on a decline. So now during this season, what we've just done is we've just been consulting. We've had a lot of inquiries. We're putting mood boards together for clients. We're costing this mood boards. We're telling them how much it's going to cost. But also, our invoices are only valid for 1 week. So we're also telling a few clients that, look, you know, our markets, everything, even though we say that we're made in Nigeria, the truth is, the real balance is that we're an assembly plant. Everything is locally assembled here rather than made here. The wood, yes, it's locally made, but the nails, the glue, the fabric, everything else, all the unseen materials inside the cardboard, the webbing material, everything is imported. So the real balance, like I said, is that we're an assembly, everything is assembled locally in Nigeria. So yeah, so we've been telling people that, look, when markets open, there's limited supply. So a lot of people will be fighting for this limited supply. People have not worked in like a month. So definitely there'll be an increase in price. That increase in price, I cannot tell. My vendors are saying that, oh, this is what it's going to cost me, but I don't believe them until they actually open the market. You know, so that's what we've been doing. We've been attending to customers. We've been sending out invoices. We've been working on floor plans for clients and all of that, but we haven't actually, we even, okay, so we had this client that we have been on his case. We've been on his case for a while. And then all of a sudden, COVID came and he's like, oh yeah, for me, I need this, I need to do this. And, you know, so the tables have kind of turned as well. A lot of people now have time. So all those invoices that we have sent to them before, they're like looking at it and they're saying, okay, maybe it's time to do this. But also because I'm very fixated on sourcing my things locally. I've had a lot of challenges importing stuff. You give a client an invoice, foreign exchange will change, and then you're losing a lot of money. So as much as I can, I like to get my things locally. Also because when I started, I went to Dubai, because that's where my money could afford. I couldn't go to Spain and all of that. So I went to Dubai, got all my fabric books. The prices were affordable and all of that. And then I would go to, you know, our local fabric markets, and I would see the exact same thing for a fraction of the price. And it's very difficult to sell this to a client. Like, it's like, I want velvet cream. I'm importing it for 3,000 naira, 4,000, 5,000 naira. And then our dear friend, like everybody's like, everybody now knows Esther. You know, she's selling it for 800 naira or 1,000 naira. So how do you justify those costs? So that's why I was like, okay, if you know where to look, you'll get really good quality stuff in Nigeria. So that's why I've kind of been fixated on everything and anything Nigeria. I mean, there are a couple of clients that we've had, because they want something really different, so we don't have a choice. We have to import, say, for example, the fabrics, you know, for our work and all of that. So that's where we are during this lockdown period. Lots of consultations, but we're actually telling our clients to hold on, you know, let's know what's happening. Let's see if this quantities are even available. For example, a kitchen, we have a kitchen, a client that wants to do up her kitchen, and she wants imported boards. And the people I work with, they don't have a coding system, or they don't have a proper warehousing system where, you know, you look into your system, oh, I have 5 boards of this particular material, or I have this of this. So they can't tell me for sure that they'll be able to meet my demands, because they might have promised that board to another person. It's unfortunate. It's very physical. Everything here is very physical. You know, the Oga is the one holding the key to the warehouse because he doesn't want his boys to steal from him. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when he has his sample pieces at the warehouse, they don't really know if he has 100 quantity or he doesn't have 100. Do you understand what I mean? So we have well, those are the challenges I'm facing, which is why I tell my clients, you know what, just hold on. Let the market open, and then we'll know, you know, how to proceed.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where we are.
Okay, great. So how are you able to convince clients in the early days that, you know what, buy my made in Nigeria furniture over the imported alternative?
Okay, so like I said, I'd known the likes of interior options and design options, and they had kind of paved the way for made in Nigeria. Because the truth is, if you want contemporary furniture, if you go abroad, the quality that is being churned out in Nigeria is equal, maybe sometimes, maybe not in the feeling, because the foam densities are different, the webbing materials are different. We have people requesting for coil material, which we don't use in Nigeria, but generally, they're very comparable. So Mrs. Iguodalo, Mrs. Shonibare, that paved the way. And I guess I guess the differentiating factor that I brought into the market was ensuring that I wasn't retailing what they were retailing. You know, I made sure that we had very unique and contemporary pieces. So it was easy. I don't know. I don't know if it was the location or the space. People would come in with the intention that they wanted furniture. They would come, they would see what they like, and they would just buy. So it wasn't too difficult to convince them. If anything, I think what I should have, you know, I shouldn't have touted, oh, this is made in Nigeria. They should be the ones to decide, oh,
If it's
because
made in Nigeria or not.
we do get asked, are you sure this is made in Nigeria? I'm like, yeah, we made them in Nigeria. So I make sure that because we're such a small company, I'm involved in the quality management. So I ensure that everything is, you know, very well detailed. Yeah.
And which brings me to what you said earlier when you said that you think that maybe you don't have the zeal anymore, that in those days you would market to everybody, your driver was this. And I was just going to say that normally as businesses grow, your responsibilities are growing as well. And so it just means that it's not that the zeal is less. It's just that you are now, you know, probably delegating more and giving more oversight. Direction instead of being in the nitty-gritty like the early stages. So well done. I think you've done amazing. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
And I don't think that you should play small. I think your design sense is beautiful. I have furniture that I got from Design Sense in 2000 and I had from I think 2016 or 15 that I got for clients, for a client space. And they're still using them till today. No complaints, nothing like that. You know, so absolutely well done. Okay, so now do you think that with this post-pandemic situation, do you think there'll be a rise in retail again?
Okay, so the reason why retail has been on the decline is because of social media, pretty much. You don't need a physical space to sell anything anymore. So even like in the US, you know, a lot of big box retail stores, they're going under. What's that finance terminology? They're going under basically. So that I think there's a ripple effect. So there are a lot of furniture companies. People are churning out a lot of furniture without necessarily having a physical space to show it. So people are manufacturing furniture for people, taking it to their house, staging it, taking awesome with your phone, with any good phone, you can take awesome pictures, post on Instagram, and then it's a buyer's market. So people, you know, they go, they see what they like. And a lot of people like custom, so they commission you. They contact you, and then they commission you for whatever it is that they feel that they want. And also because Nigeria is such a custom market, it's difficult to meet everybody's taste and demand. So we would make stuff. We would make, you know, maybe I think I've come up with this product design that I really like, and we'll make 10 pieces. You know, a few pieces, and then we'll sell a few, and then a customer would come, oh, I don't like this leg, I want something higher. Standardization is something that I find that, yes, it's good to have standard products, but also people would like that bespoke, custom product if you offer it to them. So I just decided that, you know what, this is not my accounting. It wasn't adding up accounting wise, to keep stocking. And then for furniture, you really need a lot of stock. You need a lot of stock. You need a lot of products. You need to be able to, you have to have vignettes in your store. So what we used to do before, we would have maybe 5 or 6 setups. Every Friday, we would do a store change. So mix and match the furniture pieces, mix and match them, differently. And you have to keep doing that on a regular basis. And customers that are very, the window shoppers, they'll come to your store, oh, okay, this is new, no, this is old. And then if you're not churning out as much furniture, they'll be like, what happened? You haven't changed. This is the same thing and all of that. So a lot of, we were doing more custom work. So people would come to us, oh, they want to do stuff, but they'll tell us, oh, they don't like what they see. And that would be almost like a slight on our business. And we're like, okay, what do you want? And then they would tell us, oh, they saw this picture on Pinterest, they saw this on Instagram. We'll be like, okay, let's have a look at it. We'll have a look at what they have. We'll be like, okay, we can do this with a few modifications, or we can do this without this. And they'll be like, fine. And then they would commission us for a lot of custom work. So that's where, we started doing custom work. And then people would come and, sorry, school is in session in my house as well.
It's okay. Like, we've had so many children come on this, so they're part of it now. We expect it.
Yeah. So, with the rise of social media, you don't really need a physical space anymore to conduct business. Really, you don't. Your client's house is your showroom, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
So that.
All right.
Those are the, yeah.
Okay. What has, and I don't know, you probably have covered this, but I'll just ask it again. Like, what's been your most challenging experience running a retail business in Nigeria?
Capacity. It's definitely capacity. Nigerian carpenters are very talented. Unfortunately,
Very unreliable.
it's that, it's not that they're just unreliable. You would have people that have worked with you for years. I don't know if it's because of the nature of the job, and then if they work unsupervised, what they would churn out for you would not be the quality that you want. Also, they would shortchange you in materials. If you decide that you don't want to buy the materials yourself, they'll buy inferior materials for you, and then you end up spending twice the amount of money that you intended to spend for production. Sorry, what was the question again?
I said, running a retail business, in your experience, what has been your most challenging experience in Nigeria? Capacity.
Definitely capacity, yes. We actually started out with, so we actually have our workshop behind our store.
Yeah.
We have our workshop behind our store. So a few carpenters that would come and then they would leave. Maybe they found jobs, around, or that people have come to poach them. And
so
then
people were coming to poach them in your premises?
Of course. This is Lagos now.
Oh, wow.
Of course. Oh. And it's capacity. We know to do right, but we just don't like doing. Yeah, we choose not to. I'm very. So let me just give you a bit. Like I said, when I was in Indonesia, the places where they manufacture furniture, it's not a large industrial zone where it's just hand. Everything is hand. Of course, they had like hand tools, yes, but of course you need hands to work those hand tools, right?
Yeah.
But they were very thorough. They were very thorough, abroad, they will sand wood, like they will sand it, and when you touch it, it will be silky smooth. So you don't need putty, you know, for that silky smooth finish and then spray over it. So you actually spray on the wood itself, and not, thank you, and not on a composite material before the wood. So it's unfortunate that we're lazy. Well, I'm sorry to use that word, but we are lazy in this country, because I've seen it firsthand, you know, and I'm like, we have the talent. We have the talent. The Indonesian market is not different from our organized wood markets in Nigeria. It is not different. But of course, like I said, they have light, and then they pay attention to detail. You know, they will sand. I mean, imagine doing a four-leg table. 4 human beings will work on that before they couple it together. They will sand and sand and sand and sand and sand. In fact, when you see them, they'll be covered in sawdust. You know, you see them covered in sawdust. So we just really need to, like, we need to build our capacity in Nigeria. We really need to build our capacity in Nigeria. Because it's not enough for my carpenter to cut a template, and then I'll say, okay, so for example, if carpenter A cuts the template and carpenter B does the assembly, and then carpenter D, you know, does all the finishing and all of that. If I have a new set of carpenters, they will not churn out the exact size, even though they're using a template. They will not churn out the exact size for you. I don't know why. It's so unfortunate. They will say, you know, abroad, you use a ruler on both sides. In Nigeria, they'll just, one side is okay. They'll use their eyes to gauge it, and they feel that everything is fine. It's a capacity problem. You're smiling, you can relate, Abby.
Like, you have no clue. I can relate so well, because, you know, you have situations where you have to be the one to say, you know what, since you took this side, but you're assuming that the other end is going to be the exact same thing. Can you please just take it? And then they'll tell you, madam, I'm going to say to you, madam, what's shaking it for the past 20 years, past 20 years, it will work, you know? And you have to, it now comes to a thing of also managing them. Say, okay, Mama, I know you've been doing it, but could you please just measure this other side? So let me say what I said in Yoruba. Let me say it in English for people that did not understand. So I was saying that when you're talking to them and saying, why don't you measure the other side? They will tell you that, oh, I've been doing this for the past 20 years. This is what I was doing when I was in my mother's womb. So don't worry, that's how we normally do it. You know, and then you now have to be the one trying to sort of teach them, you know, and that's what we find that we do as well. We teach them. Sometimes before they produce some things, I've gone to watch how it's produced. And then I'll say, okay, you know what? How about we try this tool? I see that this tool can achieve this look. You know, what if we do that? And that's for situations where we're not having to go to a store to buy. You know, maybe if the project has a longer timeline, then we can't do that. But usually, if we're able to just buy off the shelf in situations like that, we do that. So, but I can totally relate.
Someone said that they're not lazy, they just like quick money. Yeah, it's true. Because that's why we've moved away from using wood to work. That's why MDF and HDF and MFCs, they're becoming more popular now. You know.
Yeah, because it doesn't take as much.
Exactly. Yeah, we have the skill. I honestly believe in this country. We have the skills. People have, even the apprenticeship program that we have, it's kind of good enough. It's not bad. Nobody's perfect, you know. Not everybody can go to trade schools or technical colleges, but the apprenticeship program that we have, for some of them, they apprentice for about 4 to 5 years. But the truth is, even their attitude, they don't resume on time. They don't see it as you know, as real work, as something that will add value to their life. They just don't take that pain to ensure that things get done properly. It's rather unfortunate. Yeah, they're not lazy, but yeah, like you said, I can't remember who said that, but They just like that quick money, you know, owo kia kia, like they say.
And it is sad. It's also because I think that very, you know, when the who they learned from, they learned the bad habits as well. So while they were learning the skill, they learned all the bad habits associated with learning that skill.
Very true. Very true.
Fumi, we have a lot of questions here, but the thing is, we need to save this video so that we can have it, you know, because I go and watch the replays as well, you know, so we can have people go, yeah, so that people can go and watch the replays. So please, if you have, hello, hi. So please, if you have any comments, could you please just note them, comments, questions, and we're going to save this video so that we don't miss out and we give, you know, people that are occupied an opportunity to also watch the video. Please, we'll be back in like 1 minute, just 1 minute, please. All right, so thank you.
Hello, hello, Yellow Blog, Deco Wall Art, Flybe, yes, designed by Tacy, Fumi's back on.
Thank you guys so much for coming back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're going to wait for, please guys, the people that had questions before, I was able to get some questions, but I wasn't able to get everything. So please send in your questions again, and we will try and take as many as possible. Okay, so one of the questions I'd gotten was, what do you have to say about our assistants? Okay, I think you kind of have mentioned it, but I'll say the question. What do you have to say about our assistants here compared to the Indonesians in terms of furniture production? And I think you kind of like covered that.
Sorry.
What do you have to say about our artisans here compared to the Indonesians?
No, like I said, we're very skilled though. Our artisans are very skilled, but like Folakemi said, everybody wants quick money. They don't want to give that time and attention to ensuring that they finish something very well. You know, that attention to detail is not there. You have to almost force them. You know, they say that you can take an elephant to the stream, but you can't force them to drink water. Some of them started doing this as a means of survival. They had no real interest in it. However, you know, they've seen that, oh, they can be successful in this trade, so they do it. But they won't go over and beyond themselves. They won't go over and abroad, you know, they won't go over and abroad for you, except you dictate it to them. You make them see why they need to do it, and maybe give them a higher incentive as well to ensure that they do your work, you know, to this finish, the attention that you want. You know, a lot of them, the truth is there are a lot of foreigners, a lot of Togolese, Benin, Ghanaian hands craftsmen that work in Nigeria. And when you work with those artisans and you work with the Nigerian artisans, there's always a difference. There's always a difference. For the first time this year, I've employed Beninese girls as my house helps. And I can see that even with them, I can see the difference. You know, it's not that they don't feel like, oh, my parents don't have money and I'm going to do this job, so whatever. They don't do that. They're very professional in the way they work. You know, this is my job and I'm going to give it my all. So I don't find that in Nigerian artisans, except the old, you know, the old ones. And I guess with age, they're not able to perform as they used to perform. And they don't have the hands that can help them properly. Yeah, I don't know if I've been able to answer the question.
But yes, you did a great job. Meanwhile, let's just say hello to a few people. It's a lot of people. I'm not sure I can say hello to all of them. Okay, but hi everyone. Hi. I'm going to say hello to okay, Letitia says hi Fumi. Hi everyone. Then Make New Design says, do you have a particular niche you cater to? And if you do, how do you figure out your niche?
Okay, so we actually do residential and commercial, but we don't implement commercial as much. Like, it's just not what I enjoy doing. We can do consultations, we can help you with your floor plans and arrangement. We can help you with space planning, specification. We do that for clients, but implementing office work, I just don't enjoy it, because with commercial products, you think that your client is the person paying you. It's not true. Your clients are the end users, the people that will actually use the space. Unfortunately, not a lot of organizations bring them on board when they're designing the
making the
space.
decision.
Yes, in their decision-making process, they don't. So you find out that when you're fitting out the space, they're like, why didn't they do this? Oh, why did they do this? You know, a lot of side remarks, you know, from commercial space users. So I just don't enjoy it. So I focus on residential stuff. However, there are a few commercial spaces we started a while ago. Due to some planning restrictions and stuff, we had to stop. And then we started again last year. So we're just gonna like kind of finish that. And then, yeah, my niche is residential interiors, even hospitality. I've never done any hospitality design, or rather, I've never done a large hospitality design. I just, residential is picking up because a lot of people are paying attention to their homes, you know, thanks to, like I always say, Betty's and Beyonds and Viva Bella giving us, you know, breathtaking magazine-like pictures. So residential design is taking up. People are paying more attention. People, the up-and-coming class, the middle class, when we had a middle class, they are entertaining more.
Sorry. I didn't want to. That was funny. So when we had a middle class, what has happened to our middle class?
With what Google is doing to us, I don't understand. So yeah, they were the ones that had the spending power. So with their taste comes their requirement for an interior design, and you find a lot of people wanting to just have a more polished interior space rather than just putting furniture together. So we get a lot of those requests, you know, as well. So my thing is residential. The wahala of commercial, and rather architects and, you know, people like that deal with them. Yeah.
Okay, great. And now that you mentioned Viva Bella, we're having Viva Bella at 6 p.m. today. So we'll have that conversation as well. Funny Pete says this is so true. I'm sorry?
Oh, I said amazing lady. Amazing lady.
And then Ush NS says, I think we should continue to encourage the artisans and possibly train them to see the need to stand out. This will also reduce stress, corrections, time waste, and cost. What do you think about this?
Oh, I really wish we could train the artisans, though. To train them, we would have to actually engage them at the beginner's level. Once they have learned the trade, it's almost impossible to train them. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know, and also forgive me for what I'm about to say, but they react differently to the genders. That's what I've found over time. They react differently to the genders. I think it's easier for men to sort of, you know, mold them better than women. They don't like women talking to them. They always feel we're talking down at them. So so it's you're better off looking for somebody whose work you already like, who you know, pays attention to those things, and you know what you're correcting is maybe you want them to push their style boundaries. So instead of just making you a linear sofa, you want something curved, you know. Okay, I will say this. When we don't have capacity, this is a trade secret, by the way. When we don't have capacity, like I said earlier, we have carpenter workshops. I mean, we have carpenter industry. We have a carpentry industry in Nigeria. So when we don't have the capacity, when my carpenters cannot do the amount of things that I want them to do, we outsource. And what I find is a carpenter is not an upholsterer. Don't let them lie to you. A carpenter is not a painter. Don't let them tell you, madam, woman shape furniture. I mean, I do furniture. No, there are different people in the furniture value chain. There's somebody that couples the wood. There's someone that does the upholstery. There's somebody that does the finishing, you know. So I've been, like I said, I've been to factories where these things are manufactured. So I've taken advantage of those things. So for example, if I want to get something made, I would go to the carpenter's workshop, get my carcass made from there, take it away from there, take it to, and bring it to my own workshop and have my upholsterers, you know, upholster them. Yes, upholster them professionally. Also, that is where the real work is, you know, where you have to ensure that everything is neat and tidy. Of course, everything plays a part. You know, the carpenter person has to knock the wood and make sure that everything is to the, you know, the right proportion, scale, and size. And then the upholsterer guy will now get his work done with all the necessary materials. So that's, for me, that's the best way I've been able to get the best out of my artisans. For the ones that don't work with me directly, the ones that I outsource to, I don't give one person the start to finish job. No, no. Except to say a kitchen, for example. Even at that, you should buy your own materials. All your finishing materials, you buy them yourself. If you can buy the hinges yourself, if you can buy the screws yourself, the drawer materials, because they will use the cheapest in the market. They will not, they don't adhere to, you know, quality standards. Theirs is to make maximum profits, you know, but you have the duty of care to your client to ensure that what you're delivering is value. It's and that is where your value add comes as an interior designer. It's not just, oh, you get a carpenter to just assemble something for you. You get a carpenter that assembles for you with quality materials, quality finishing material, you know. So I mean, I have taken wood and finished the edging sometimes and say, look, now, like, can't you do it this way? You know, sometimes you literally have to hold the gun, the staple gun, and say, look, I don't want your nails in a zigzag position, because for me, even the places you don't see is very important. It's very important to me. So, you know, they'll finish off shabbily, nails are all over the place, but I'm like, look, you need to do this in a consistent, you know, it has to be consistent. Even the finishing material, you know, they'll use, I don't even know, it's just crazy. You almost have to like be very involved from end to end, you know, in the process, at the beginning of your startup, pretty much. Yeah.
Great. Ush Ernest says, I think we should continue to, oh, sorry, I brought that one. Emerald Ush said, what are the anticipated changes in the Nigerian foreign what are the anticipated changes in the Nigerian foreign policy as they affect interior design, and how do you think it will affect our industry?
Oh, so the policy is already in place. It's already in place. Importation of furniture, I think that I don't know it offhand, but there are certain categories of furniture that you can import, and there's some categories that you can't import. I think for medical, for hospitality, you can bring in maybe the carcass, but you have to assemble it locally. I'm not sure of the distinctions, but it's already there. Importation of furniture has been banned. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, for a very long time now. There are windows where they've lifted the ban, but then very short windows, maybe a year or 6 months, and then so importation of furniture is actually, the policy is already in place on the importation of furniture in Nigeria. You can bring in, for example, an office chair. You can bring in the legs, like the silo system, and stuff like that. Then there's some that you cannot bring them assembled. It has to be as individual units, and then you assemble them in Nigeria. Yeah, if I remember correctly. So yeah.
Thank
The
you.
policy, the very simple answer is the policy exists already.
Okay. Joka Red says hello.
Hi.
Ush NS says this will reduce stress, correction, time waste. I think she's talking about trainings. Utrix profile says, so true about the difference between Nigerian artisans and furniture artisans. Hi, Interior Ubik, Home Affairs, Coin Artist. Emerald says, hi. Hi. Hi, Anjazini. Hi, Samuno. Hi, Rioma, Toka. Ralph Julia Interior says, do you go on contract basis or do you outsource or employ carpenters, inclusive of carvers, e.g. those ones? So sorry. Is that, for example, those ones that cost, forgive my language.
You know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But I think you had answered that question before. That yeah. Hi, I'm Fumike. Lydia Cheese. Hi, Auntie. Network Palava. Well done, ma. Good job. Thank you. Design Sense. We have always had issues with foreign staff. Are they verified? Do you check them out? I think maybe she's referring to your domestic staff. I think she may be. Hi, Delphi Metals. Hi, everyone. Hi. Make your design.
Even if they are verified, people can do and undo. Even when people are verified, you'll find out that police cannot do anything for you. So what someone said to me was, or actually it's something that has gone around Instagram as well and WhatsApp that I've seen. So make sure that you don't pay them directly. Have somebody's details, somebody that has BVN. Like the ones I have right now, unfortunately, they don't have any bank account. But previously, I've always employed people with bank accounts. So how did I get them? A friend referred them. She's always used their brother. It's never really their brother. It's always their townsman or somebody that they know. So they've always referred. So I know somebody that knows them. And then things like they'll say that, oh, ask them for their parents' number, parents' account number, tell them that you want to send money to their parents so that you have details of their parents. So I have like 2 or 3 people that they know that I have their details, So that's how I don't have it perfect, but this is the first time I'm employing them, because back in the days, there were stories that they were possessed and all of that. But this friend of mine, she's used them for her kids, for 5 years, and she said that they're very good, and they've been with me since January. This is April. They're very professional in the way they work. I mean, there are maids that I've had to wake up myself in the morning. Imagine, you're going to work. I'm the one waking you up to go to work. You have to wake them up. You have to keep telling them what they do on on a regular basis. But these ones, honestly, they've come to work. Like, they know that this is their job and they do it professionally. So Well, I've been enjoying them for the last 4 months, and I'm happy about it. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah.
Make New Design says, thank you for taking my question at Film Harmony and answering at Design Sense Interiors.
Thank
Also, Classic
you.
Interior says, training them all over again will be hard. Totally agree. Funny Teeth says, is this really true? I thought they respond to ladies more. I think he's talking about gender managing artisans.
Well, I'm a lady. I'm a lady in my experience, in my own personal experience. That's what I found. I had this friend, he's late now, Taiwo. I would actually ask Taiwo to speak to my artisans for me. Taiwo was also in this furniture business. I would ask him to speak to them because there's just this, I don't know. They just listen to them more, especially when you want them to go over and beyond. Sometimes the money incentive is not enough. They respond to curses. Honestly, they do. But I don't curse. I cannot. No, you see, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. They respond to Ekwe. If you can
maybe like yelling at them.
Yes, thank you. That's the word. That's what they respond to. But I cannot go and be disgracing my husband outside. So I have to keep a calm disposition, as much as I can. I mean, sometimes I have to yell. It's inevitable, but managing artisans, it's just easier for men. That not even only artisans. Sometimes some difficult clients. There are a few times I've had to call my husband to speak to somebody for me because I just
Can't deal.
It can be that challenging sometimes.
Okay, so funny. Hi, Androzini. Funny Teeth said, I had an issue with an assistant that said if I buy the materials, he might not be able to work with it. He thinks he knows the best because he's the one using it. What would you say about that?
If you know, then he's not the one for you. He's not the one that you should work with. Because if you are confident that you know the materials, that's one of the tricks that they use actually to make more money. In material buying, they get the opportunity to mark up. So it's a trick. It's one of their tricks, really. He just wants to make more money off you. That is why he wants to buy the material. There's no other reason. I have been naive. I've also been very naive in my past as well. No, material, But when you keep getting it over and over again, you just realize that, look, we're buying from the same market. So what are you on about? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're probably better looking for somebody else to work with. Somebody who is flexible. Obviously, he's not flexible. So, yeah.
Hi, Goodland Interiors. Hi, Delphi Metals. Sadili says, do you have equal confidence on locally made furniture and imported furniture on delivery? So he's saying, do you have the same confidence, when you locally made furniture versus imported furniture on delivery?
Okay, so I always tell people there are different grades of imported furniture. Yep. I mean, I believe very strongly that the things we make is better than a lot of things that people import here. And why do I say this? People buy from China. China has different grades of furniture, and China is just not. There's some designs that they don't make, and there's some designs that you won't even import. So a contemporary design, just a simple, tuxedo sofa, for example, is not something that most people would import. And I think that is why classical furniture has risen in value and aesthetics for a lot of people. You bring in this furniture, they look really grand. They have this grandiose, and you think, oh, this is better. This should be more expensive. I don't think so. It depends on where you're bringing your imported furniture from. Are you bringing it from Italy? Then, if the way they even make some of their fillings is so technical and it's so beautiful that it's not comparable. China, then I'm sorry. I've been to, is it Master? Those ones in Lekki, Jinhua,
Maybe we should
let
not
me know.
call names.
Exactly. Let me not call names. But if you want, contemporary furniture, I don't think you need to import. I really don't. You don't need to import. The quality they make in Nigeria is as good as what you import. Trust me, especially the ones that are made in America. It's wood. We have wood. We have better quality wood in Nigeria. If anything, in America they use engineered wood sometimes. For the interior. We use real wood, mahogany, acoriko, different types of wood. Acoriko is heavy though. We use good quality wood here. And okay, maybe things like the webbing material, they have coil. We don't have coil, but if you want contemporary furniture, if you want to buy, let me be specific. If you're going to buy furniture from, say, Crate and Barrel, West Elm, which other company? Home Goods. Because it's funny to me when people tell me they want to import, and then they go to these companies that are comparable to what we make in Nigeria, and then they import furniture from there, and they're like, oh, they've gotten value for money. I don't understand it. I honestly, I don't. I had this CEO client one time. She invited us to her holiday home, and she wanted us to do something for her. She had seen our stuff at Lakowe, and she liked it. And she was traveling, so she was like, okay, let me send her an invoice. We sent her an invoice. She liked it. She was like, okay, she's traveling. When she comes back, she will there were some things she wanted made. So she wanted to do a kitchen island, do all the bathrooms and wardrobe and all of that, and then a few furniture pieces for her home. So she traveled, and then she came back and she changed her mind. And then she was going to split the job and give us some things, especially the things that she knew she could not import. And then she was like, okay, she was going to bring in the bed, she was going to bring in the sofa. And I'm like, ma, sorry, but where are you bringing your sofa from? And then she was calling all the companies that I just called. And I was like, ma, I can't open the sofa for you, but I guarantee you there's no difference. The quality is the same. We've come up with a technique with our foams. So we don't just buy a slab of foam in the market and just cover it. We don't do that. We construct our foam so that it can last longer. It will not fall flat as well. Yeah. So we've done those things, and with the people that I see online and when I watch videos and stuff, it's no different from what they do. So I'm like, so I invited her to the store, took her around, showed her that, look, madam, even though we assemble in Nigeria, a lot of our things are imported. The finishing material is imported, the handles are imported, the leg we have imported. Just to give you a nicer finish, you don't want, say, for example, wooden legs and all that. And we were able to convince her, and a lot of my big budget clients are people that live abroad, and they want to do up their home in Nigeria so that whenever they come home, so I don't know, I guess our pictures sell. The one product pictures that we post, it sells. So people, they're okay with it. It's not difficult to convince those ones abroad, but it's so difficult to
the
convince
Nigerian ones.
I'm like, this is insane. I guess taste, it brings me to the question. I've heard a lot of, in these interviews, a lot of people have said that, oh, there's a recession, people will be buying, people have been buying made in Nigeria for a long time. As long as design options and interior options have existed, people have been buying made in Nigeria furniture. So it's not really a new thing, it's not that people there'll be more buy-in because of COVID-19, but there's just something fundamental. There's the fundamentals of taste. It's something you can't remove from people. A lot of people have acquired taste. So, now people have money, they're earning more, they've traveled abroad, they've seen what people abroad, are experiencing, they want to bring that same experience back to Nigeria. So I don't really see people consuming less imported stuff. I can't make that prediction because taste is so personal. Easily, I believe that what we sell, if we don't tell people that it's made in Nigeria, people can actually think it was imported, but we don't pitch ourselves that way. Otherwise, blah, yeah, we don't have to say, we'll be like, yeah, So taste-wise, it's very subjective. Taste is very subjective. People will still want what they want. A person who's built their dream home is not necessarily going to say, oh, I don't have the budget anymore, because there's a reason why he built his dream home. He's going to want the same aesthetic that he had initially planned. He might not want it now because everybody is trying to see how the market is going to play out, but eventually in the future, he will definitely want to fulfill that taste, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, you are. I feel taste is and since you go on.
Sorry?
You are going to say something?
Yeah, so that's it. I feel taste is very subjective. Buying made in Nigeria is not a new thing, like I said. As design options has evolved into DO2, they've been in existence for what? More than 20, 25 years. So people have been buying made in Nigeria for a long time, so COVID-19 is not going to exactly, people will defer. What I feel will happen really is that people will defer, those decisions that they want. They won't make those immediate decisions right now, those immediate luxury taste decisions right now. They will still be making them, but they might just put a hold on them and then, do it in the future when things are a bit more stable. Because we're in a recession as well. The stock, which surprisingly, it dipped at the beginning of COVID-19, and now the stock market, Nigerian stock market has bounced back. They've gained, I don't even know how many trillions the last time I checked. So it's a very interesting, it's a very interesting situation that we're in at the moment. Our governors, they have a large furniture budget, So yeah, taste is very personal. It's very, very personal. The thing is for us to match the quality of our maids in Nigeria to what people are making abroad.
Or maybe even exceed it.
The people that make them abroad, they have 2 eyes now, they have 2 ears, they have 2 hands. They're no different from us. So why not?
I also think that there's the bit of why not, but there's also the bit of sometimes the quality of the things that are imported into Nigeria is also a limiting factor. And I'm talking in terms of the raw material. So if you even take, for example, the fabric that you were discussing earlier, where you said imported fabrics versus the ones you buy in the market, they may look exactly the same, but they're not the same. So the quality of what you are also, that quality of some of the things that we have to work with can also affect. So that means that's why you as the interior designer need to do your due diligence to ensure that you are offering your clients the very best possible.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So hi, Insignia Interior, Creamy in City Interiors, Finishes by Love. Hi, Tenny. Trendy Collections. Hi, everyone. Guys. Hi, Betty Sabias. Oh, I was going to mention that we also have Ifeyiwa Igodalo, the CEO of Due to Designs, later in the week. I'm not going to give you the day exactly, but she's coming on later in the week. So we'll also see our perspective then as well.
Awesome.
Nitia says he wants to scam you. Make New Design says, no lie, trick to rip you off your profit. If he thinks he can't get, if he thinks he knows the material better, let him describe it to you. and you can buy it. Buying materials is not complicated at all. Thank you, guys. Design sense. Thank you for your explanations. Oh, okay. So I'm a thank you for the platform. Oh, you're welcome. Funny tip says design sense is true. You have sense. I swear.
Thank you very much.
The people looking down on that's for the people looking down on made in Nigeria. TSM, hi TSM. He says, I totally agree with you on that. And imported goods from those stores, they are mass products and they are no better than the ones made in Nigeria. Absolutely. Hi IABB, hi ABB Limited. Hello. Funny tip, people just have a taste for anything international, so they can brag with it to their family and friends. Some truth in there. African mentality. Let me see if there are any questions. See, my best customer, I'm happy to use you, ma. This is UN Obaz. Is this someone that you know? Design by Tacy says in 30 years. So we're having design by Tacy tomorrow. Design sense, it's your good. Good afternoon, ma. Okay, so I have some questions here as well. Hello Yellow Blog says, what is your view on IP and copywriting for furniture design? This is a good one.
Okay, so I have read an article before. I can't remember the details now. It's like there's some patterns that are universal. So for example, a sweetheart neckline, if you're into fashion, a sweetheart neckline, a bow neck neckline, what else? You know, the different styles in fashion. It's the same thing.
Cowl neck, all of that. Yeah.
It's the same thing in furniture making as well. You have a tuxedo sofa, you have a scroll ham English sofa, you have what else? What other styles of sofas are there? You have a myriad of sofa designs. So they're all designs. Now it's your presentation that is different. That is your presentation that makes it different. Yeah. Now there's some companies like an Elms chair, for example. Those are copyrighted furniture. You know, they're copyrighted furniture. So I'm not sure if there's been any battle, but I know for Louis Vuitton shoes, he wanted to patent the red sole, but unfortunately he lost in the court of appeal. So any shoe can be painted red at the bottom, but nobody calls it a Louis Vuitton shoe, even if you see a red soled shoe. So it's the same thing in furniture as well. You have basic furniture designs, and except it's copyrighted, it's okay.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. And thank you for the education. What did you say?
Yeah. I don't know if I made sense.
Absolutely, you did. Profile says, hello?
Hello, Dr. Braid. No, I just saw Dr. Braid now.
Okay. You trick profile says, sorry, say that again.
You should bring him on board. He does international work in African countries. He's an architect. He went to Covenant University, and he does international work in African countries. And I'm very curious to understand his success story because it's amazing. He's a young man and he's done amazing stuff in African countries. So you should bring him on board.
Great. So I will send him a DM. Please let me know if you'll be happy to come on board, sir.
Some of my vendors are online.
Don't call them. Don't call their names. Leave them. How best do you utilize strengths to compensate for the weakness of artisans to achieve your product?
Oh yeah, so this is where the element of time comes in play. A lot of Nigerians are very, that's why I said retail has been on the decline. Originally, people would just come, they see what they like and they buy and they go. But now with, should I say, pressure on custom, everybody wants something unique, and people don't want to wait. I don't give my clients unrealistic timelines because we need a buffer for corrections. Our artisans can do anything under the sun. They can do anything. If they haven't done it before, you have to give them that time element to get it right. If they are willing to pay. Because also there are two things. It's either you are available physically to monitor the process, or you are willing to pay for a second one to be done. So those are the two things that you have to put into consideration. If you do, because if you can't manage them remotely, it doesn't work. You have to physically visit the site. The mistakes that they did not see, the trained eye, you're going to see it. The things that are unacceptable to your client, you will definitely see it. So you have to bring it to their attention and ask them to redo it. And you have to be patient, not the one well, for me, like I can't talk down at them and expect them to give me my best. So I'll be like, you that are so skilled, why would you do this substandard job for me? Come on, you know how to do better now. You really have to be diplomatic as well. You didn't you do this thing for me yesterday and you got it, and then now today you are doing this. You just have to be diplomatic. You have to pay. You have to also either pay them extra or make sure that you are there when it's being assembled. Otherwise, you won't get the best from them. So that's how I complement my strengths to get the best from my artisan.
Okay. And I don't know if that covers what advice will you give concerning the character deficit in Nigerian artisans?
Sorry?
What advice will you give concerning the character deficits in artisans?
Oh, that's a difficult one. I mean, most of them, the first time you approach them, they will be humble. They want the job. They are hungry. They will act well. But by the time you start to patronize them more, sometimes see finish will enter the equation. And sometimes you just have to relationship. Sometimes some of them are good, and you can actually you can speak to them. Sometimes you might need to take them out of their environment that they know and just have a, please, what's the English for omoluabi conversation?
I have no clue.
You have to have that omoluabi conversation. Please, if anybody knows the translation, let me know. And speak to their emotions, speak to their mind. Just have a heart-to-heart, I guess, with them and say, do you think you'll accept this? And of course, some of them will be like, madam, I'm like, I have seen this. It's not acceptable by me. It's not about what my clients say. It's not acceptable by me. And I'm not going to pay for transportation twice. Let us just do this. Thank you, Letiria. God-fearing. Thank you so much. Yes. So you have those God-fearing conversations with them that, fear God. Even if you don't fear anybody, fear God. Have the fear of God in you. Is this the best that you can really, have? And sometimes you just allow them to cool off. They are crazy people. I don't know. They are crazy people. Just allow them to cool off first. Let them do their, and then later, revisit the conversation and, and hopefully it will work out. Great. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So you just have to know how best to manage the situation whenever it arises. There's some people that that, look, there's no redemption here. You have to walk away. And there are some that you know that they are good. But because they don't know how to manage their time properly, they don't know how to manage their workload properly, then you just have to be patient and wait for them to come around and then get your job done. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for that. Ray Onuma says, yep, on point. So harmony design and design sense interiors. Thank you. UN Obaz says, my best customer. So happy to see you. Thanks for your patronage. That's design sense interiors. Sorry, I don't know if I pronounced this. Ignovi, thank you, design sense. Time. Riola Dimeji says, sometimes it's not about the abstract, it's about the details of the drawing and specifications that they are given. Michelle Mike says, creative criticism. Lysiria says, I think what she's saying is you really have to monitor them. Oh, thank you so much, Architect James Braid. He says, thank you for the kind words to Design Sense Interiors. It will be a pleasure to be here. As they say, I'm getting into your DM. I'm sorry, I don't know if I got the right one.
You're sliding. You're sliding into
your DM. Right. Lifestyle says exactly. Lysiria said, conferring. Barbara Lysiria says, gentleman conversation. Better report, help them understand. Okay, so thank you so much. I think we actually took all the questions. I have just one last question for you. And my question is, what advice would you give your younger self starting out again?
Oh, definitely don't go big. No matter how much money you have, don't go big. Start small. There's value in starting small. Even if you have all the money, just start small. Test the market. Get over your shyness. You know, I'm a very shy person actually. But the truth is, I have another personality when I'm in my store. I'm not shy to sell my products, but there's a limit to the amount of people that will walk into my store. So at every opportunity, tell people what you do. You know, try and work it into conversations. You know, always carry your business card. Even though it's becoming less artful to get, because you know the phone numbers, there's Instagram, there's virtual, there's LinkedIn, there's this, there's that, but it's still very fashionable to always have your calling card with you, because you just never know when the opportunity will arise. You know, when you need to give somebody your calling card. Also, it might be difficult to network sometimes because of, for me personally, traffic, but there are always opportunities everywhere. Everywhere you go to, everywhere you are, there's always an opportunity. While you're in the queue at the supermarket, you can actually bring out your brochure and just be flipping through. You don't know, you know, the person behind you who is eavesdropping or looking at what you're doing. Wear your t-shirts, wear your branded t-shirts, go out, join a church group, tell people what you do. It's very important. So my biggest self-talk to my younger self would definitely be go small, start small, let it be organic, let your your development be very organic. And it always helps. It always helps. That definitely helps. Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking out this time. Really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful. This has been one. At first, when I saw the message, I was like, oh. I was like, oh, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? I don't have anything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot of the times the connection might be bad, but I've listened to people a lot. I love when Andrezini talks, you know, but he's always like, you know, don't mind me, Andrezini. I love it when he talks. I've listened to most of the people that you've interviewed, maybe on a replay, and everybody just has amazing things. Nobody has it figured out. Nobody has everything figured out. Nobody. So one should always constantly learn from your competitors, constantly learn from your industry peers. So like from the architects, from the built environment, from construction workers. I mean, we're all learning. It's a journey. We're all on this journey of life, and nobody has it figured out from A to Z. Some people might be doing it better only because they plan better, you know. So yeah, they're doing better because they plan better. So it's very important that we plan. And I love this because I've had a very professional conversation outside of talking to my husband, talking to my kids, cooking for them, and then just, you know, attending to customers. So this has been a wonderful initiative. Well done, Folakemi. Well done. Well done.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And on that note, we say thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for all the kind words. I just wanted to say I need to give a shout out to my team. They've been working behind the scenes. We don't see them, but they've been super amazing through this. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, everyone. Okay, at CCM, we have Vivabella Sandra Doho, the creative director of Vivabella Design. So see you 6 p.m. today. Bye for me. Bye, everyone.